All right, how's it going, YouTube? This is part two of Python Projects 3, HangMan. And where we left off at was making all the interacting input methods and functions and all the responses with the prints, like for winning the game, wrong answers, losing the game, what type of guess they'll be making, letter guess, word guess, and all of that. Only thing I did add on to that was off camera was the color. Like depending on what I'm doing, if it's a word guess, I want to ask that in yellow. For all the regular questions, it'll be asked in yellow. For like wrong answers, it'll be mostly in red. For like correcting responses, like you already guessed that, it'll be answered in like purple or cayenne or something. All right, so I imported the random module and everything in that interact.py file. I got a small list of random words here, call it the word bank. Well, no, I just made comment of the word bank, called it words. So let's just continue from here. I'll do color control again. All right, so I need to keep track of the wrong count, get a random word, and also make that word spaces variable that keeps track of all the blank spots that are currently still there, unless the user already guessed all of them in. So let's apply that really quick. This one's gonna start from -1, since I'm also use that to throw it in the argument for which one. I think it's a wrong answer. Yeah, up here, wrong answer. And since this is the first one, like if they get the first thing, the first guess wrong, on their first guess that they get wrong, I mean, they will be getting the head in there. So that will call it by itself. So instead of starting from 0 and adding 1 to it, since they got it wrong, or I can add 1 to it after this, but I'll be doing that over here. So since I'm doing that over here, I'll start it from -1. So wrong count, -1, random choice, or random word. Random choice is just an attribute that you can use to get any random value in a list. So in this case, I'm gonna put the words list in there, get a random string. Then I'll make those spaces of how long that word is, basically. Underscore for character in the word. And since this game is like the main scope, every time this starts, I wanted to like start off with the intro of like asking the person to like guess a letter or a word, because the loop of questioning that alone and the other questions that come with it, which you'll see in a little bit, is kind of like I'm going to put that in another function, because this would be like the scope to start over the entire game, and that'll just be the kind of like the scope to just stay within the same loop of how much they didn't get wrong so far. But you'll see what I mean in a second. All right, so print guess one letter. Guess the word. Let's say it's a however long that word is. Letter word. Since that's a list of underscores, I'll join it together. What's that? Let's see what that looks like really quick. Cool. Right, so then now I'm gonna make that other function, which I was talking about before. It's gonna be basically like the session loop. And the only thing I'll have to pass in here is run count. And that will basically kind of determine the session of that game. All right, so first I'm gonna ask if what kind of guess they want to make. Ask the user what kind of guess they want to make. If you remember the function we made here, if it's true, it's a letter. If it's false, it's a word. Otherwise, we'll keep asking them. So if it's true, it's a letter. Then I'll just say the guess in a variable named guess at this point. I think I call it letter guess. Yeah. And since this is a letter, we have to loop through the hidden word to see if they're correct, if the letter's in there. And every time we find a space with that letter, we have to replace it within the word spaces. So you'll see how we do that. And for that will have this always show like which space they got right. So first I'll have a I keep track whether or not, if we found it, since we're looping through. So that way I don't have to return out of it. Loop through the string. Probably loop through it within its range so I can keep the a variable of the iteration, and that'll make it easier to replace that word space. So I'll just for the comment, loop through the string. Just do that for the letter and range. The word here, the word. So, all right. So in this loop, if that word space inside the hidden word is equal to the guess, first I gotta make this lower. Actually, I'll make both of them lower. I think there's a few capital letters in the word bank. All right, so if those equal each other, then for word space or word spaces in that same spot, that will equal that letter. And also found is true at this point. All right, so after that loop, found is true. Actually found is false. Then the wrong count will actually go up. So the wrong count will go up, and we'll have to call the wrong answer function to print out the relevant message. I think I called the wrong answer. Yeah. Set wrong count. All right, so if it's not found, then you got it wrong. If it is, then we'll just continue from here. Now, the reason why I say continue from here, because at the end, there's going to be another if statement just checking whether or not if all the spaces is filled. So if it's filled after your guess whether or not you got it right, well, you will have to get it right because it'll check every time. Then it will know whether or not you won. So we'll just continue from there. And else, so if this is true, it's a letter guess. Let me put this over. Else, it's a word guess. So basically the same thing, but just a little shorter. So guess will equal, what do I call the word guess? And I check. Okay, make sure it's a word there, so I don't gotta do that here. So if guess equals the word, and actually I'll do both of those, the lower, just make sure that comparison is accurate. Then send winning message game, or send winning message game. Throw the word in there. Then after that, probably return the ask again function or play again function. Now at this point, this is the first main if, so let me put that there. This is probably the last one we'll need. So here, just check if the wrong count equals 5. In this case, since I'm starting from -1, 5 will be the max count of all the body parts there for Hangman, I think. Yeah, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So if that equals 5, game is lost. Then just ask to play again. And I don't have to call that wrong answer function, because if they got a wrong answer, then they made it to 5, and that's already called. So I'll just ask to play again. And else if there's still like blank spaces, I'll just check that with, just by checking that underscore, the word spaces. I'll check it as a string. That was called word spaces. Oh wait. Yeah, word spaces. All right. So if there's an underscore in there, then there's still blank spots. So we'll just continue the game because they didn't lose yet. It's not maxed out on the wrong amount of answers. So that's calling the same function right here. Ask for guess, and I'll put then continue. So other than those two, then they had to have won the game. return, play again. Alright, so when this game runs, I'm going to need to run this function right away. Let's turn as for guess. And that should actually do it. Let me test it. Something I did wrong here. I meant to put false there. That's the, that should have still worked. I think I put a else here. Yeah, if they got the word guess wrong. Yeah, forgot about that. But it still should have ran though, so it can't be. Progress so far. Oh yeah. Didn't even notice it. Alright. Are you guessing a letter or word? A picked letter. What's the letter? L. Okay, I already know this one, so I guess a W. A word. Cool. Yes, play again. Of course, a letter. Let me get a good head start. Wrong so far. See if I can just keep getting it wrong, see what happens. Then it says all of that. All right. Sorry you lost. I see every time it has the progress so far. Play again. Guess another word. It's pineapple. Right? I think I spelled it wrong. All right, so when I'm guessing the word, yeah, I'm doing both of them lower. Oh, I spelled pineapple wrong. Wow. All right, bro. That's all for this one. And especially on that note.